Welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to go more in depth about units. Therefore we are going to talk about more units. For example, we are going to talk about areas, we are going to talk about speed and some special examples. So to start off with, in the last video we talked about meters, seconds and about grams, which are the basic units. So how can we extend that? First of all, we talk about areas and capacity, because you probably have heard or have seen like gauges with, for example, cubic meter, or for example, if you have looked at data about houses, you have seen 70 square meters of floor space. So what does that mean, or how is it measured? This is what I'm going to explain now. So we start off with length. In meters is basically the distance from one point to the other. You don't have to calculate anything. It starts off with the calculation for areas. So for example, as I already mentioned, the square meters, like the floor space for a house, you take the floor space. For example, you take the distance from one point to another, which is one of the lengths. For example, you name that A, and you take the other side to calculate your area. Then, for example, from the point where you ended before to another point, which is area B. What do you do with that? You calculate A times B. What is the result? The result is something in square meters, and you will get then this area. Almost the same goes by for capacity, but if you take a box, you would calculate how much you could fill in. This is basically what you do with the capacity. So same as before for the area, however you need to calculate how deep it goes into it. So therefore you have another side that you have to use. So for example, you have A, you have B and you have C. So how do you calculate the capacity? A times B times C, and you'll get something in cubic meters. The special case, as I already mentioned, for example, for gauges, like how much water you have used over the last month, there you see something like cubic meters, which is capacity. However, if you think about water, you think about the measure which is more common for water, which is liters. So what is 1 liter? 1 liter is actually 1 cubic decimeter. I hope you remember from the last video. If not, just go back to the video and watch it again. That 1 decimeter is 1/10 meter. How do you calculate 1 cubic decimeter? You have 1/10 of meter times 1/10 of meter times 1/10 of meter, which is 1 cubic decimeter. Or if you combine that, you have like 1,000 of cubic meters is 1 cubic decimeters. If someone asks you what, for example, what is 1 liter, you say, oh, I know that, it's 1 cubic decimeter. Or 1,000 liters, how much is that? 1,000. So if 1 liter is 1 cubic decimeter, 1,000 liters is then 1 cubic meter. Yeah, last but not least, we are going to talk about speed. How do you state speed? You talk about speed, for example, with 1 kilometers per hour, but sometimes you hear people talk about meter per seconds, especially speeds that are not that fast. How do you calculate kilometers and meter per seconds? That's not that complicated. So if you just think about it logically, you want to say 1 kilometer per hour is something in meter per second. So if you think about it, kilometers, we said in the video before, is 1000 meters divided by an hour. 1000 meters is something we will leave like that. Now we need to talk about the hour. 1 hour is 60 minutes, so that means we have like 60 minutes here. In the next step, we are left with 1000 meters divided by 3700 seconds. So that means here that 1 kilometer per hour is 1/3.6 meters per second. So, in other terms, 1 meter per second is 3.6 kilometers per hour. So next time, if you hear someone talking about meters per second and he says something like, "Man, I saw him driving like 100 meters per second," although nobody says something like that, he's talking about 360 kilometers per hour. So you should think about it if you might believe him or not. And if that is true, he's probably driving a very fast supercar. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the other videos on my channel, and if you have any specific question or any specific mathematical problem, let me know in the comments down below, and I will make sure that I go through it and make a video about that.